my name, of course, is Dani Boot. I'm a biologist with a great love for all sciences, and with each new episode I'm going to be diving deeper and deeper into the scientific mysteries of New York City. Now, autumn is closely approaching, and that means Halloween is on its way. So today's topic will be on spiders. Now, spiders might seem creepy and strange, but as it turns out, they're absolutely fascinating. Our first adventure will be uncovering some spiders in the wild. So let's go check them out. Alright guys, here we are in the Amazon rainforest. Okay, I'm kidding. Actually, we're in Central Park in New York City. But it turns out there's just as many diverse spiders here in the park as there are all over the world. And I think I've just found a really cool one to take a look at. So let's go see it. Okay guys, I've managed to find an orb-weaving spider in Central Park. And I actually almost walked directly into its web. And that's because it spans from this branch here all the way to this one over here. And he's located directly in the center of his web, right over here. Now it's in his best interest to stay in the middle of his web so that he can feel the vibrations of everything going on around it. So he can tell the difference between the soft movements of the wind touching his web compared with the sharp jerking movements an insect would make. And in fact, if I was to touch his web, he'd know that this creature is far too big to go after, and he'll drop all the way down to the ground and hide in the dirt. But as he's doing this, he leaves a drag line of silk, so as soon as the coast is clear, he runs all the way back up to the center of his web again, waiting for food to come by. Now you might be wondering how our spiders are capable of making those incredibly large orb webs that we saw earlier. Well, I have a demonstration area with my toy spider Freddy, some silk to show us how. So Freddy first needs to climb onto a high surface like this, and then he pulls out silk from his spinnerets that are located near his abdomen using his back legs. And then he waits very patiently for a bit of wind to come by, pick up the silk and attach it to another hard surface. And once this is accomplished, Freddy is going to run across his newly made bridge, all the while strengthening it with more silk. So once he has his bridge, he's going to continue making the outer structures of his web. And the next step will be the spokes going across, and the last step is going to be the orbs that go all the way around to catch all those yummy insects. And now Freddy has created his beautiful orb web. Underneath this tree branch, we found a real spider molt. Now it looked see-through, like it could have been a real spider, but what you saw was the shed exoskeleton that's completely hollow. Now our spiders have to molt in order to grow bigger because they don't have internal skeletons the way that we do. So they have to shed this exoskeleton, and then they regrow a new cuticle underneath that. And the process is they start to build up fluid between the cuticles that stretches it apart. So when they're ready, they just burst right out, climb out, and discard their old exoskeleton. insect to fly by and get stuck in it. And I think there's one coming by right now.
Oh.
And you can see we're starting to make a little bit of a pattern here. Alright, Kurt, that is not a spider web.
Dude, you know.
And welcome to the very first episode of Dani Boot's Discoveries. No, you gotta do 3, 2.